So I make comedy videos on YouTube. My YouTube channel is VEEDU VIDZ. So I stand for free speech, for free expression. And just to give you a brief background about myself so you understand where I'm coming from. I was born in Pakistan. I came to the UK when I was 1. So virtually my whole life I've lived in the UK. My parents raised me as a mainstream Muslim. I wasn't very extreme, I wasn't very liberal. I prayed, I fasted, no pork, no girlfriends, that kind of stuff. And I also went to a Muslim school from the ages of 13 to 16. So before that I was in a normal state school. My parents said, you're not working hard enough, you need to up your game, you need to go to a Muslim boys' school, which was also Cat Stevens Muslim boys' school. That's Yusuf Islam. During my story, there are a couple of watershed moments. Some moments that really changed the way I thought about myself, about Islam and the world, and I will let you know where they are. The first watershed moment, you could say, was 9/11 and 7/7. Before 9/11, I was just Pakistani. Yes, I was Muslim, but my main source of identity was that I was a Pakistani boy. I had more in common with Indian Hindus, Indian Sikhs, Bangladeshis. We play cricket, we have similar language, we watch Bollywood movies, we eat curry, that kind of thing. After 9/11, I was only around 11 years old, so I didn't really understand the full magnitude of what happened. But after 9/11, 7/7, I wasn't just Pakistani British, I was a Muslim British. I had now more in common with Arabs, with Somalians, people that I didn't really know about. I didn't speak their language, I didn't, watch their movies, but because our identity had changed, we went from religiously Muslim to politically Muslim. So now Islam was our main focus of identity. So now I was more aligned. My brethren were Somalians or Moroccans or Egyptians, people that I had no knowledge of before. One other important moment was when I was in a Muslim school, I was introduced to drama, to acting. And I was very lucky that I had a teacher who was actually a convert to Islam. He was English. And there's a famous play called The Demise of Dr. Faustus, or Dr. Faustus. And he changed this to The Demise of Imam Faustus. So just, a few variations. It was funny, it was lighthearted, it was pretty much the same story as before, but with an Islamic touch. I was the sort of biggest, most hairiest, you could say, guy in the school. I played Satan, which is funny now. I played Jennifer Lopez and Vanity. So 2 female roles and 1 male role. But what I discovered was that I enjoyed expressing myself on stage through humor, through acting, and actually some teachers in the Muslim school said that acting is a bad idea. You shouldn't play a girl, you're a man, you should know that you're a man, all this kind of stuff. But my parents were very supportive and my teacher believed in me, so I did very well in that play and I was amazing as Jennifer Lopez. Thank you. Then I went to university, and in university I would say I was exposed to many different religious, political ideas, to different people from different backgrounds, and here I did a lot of research into Islam. I was also active in the Islamic Society in the university. I was actually invited to speak at a local college to defend Islam against atheism, and I actually did very well as well. So I was a very good Muslim. But when I was doing my research into Islam, this is where I came across certain doubts. I was someone who, although I was raised Muslim, I was raised to appreciate science. That the world, we understand things through science. And there are many Muslims who believe that science and Islam are, basically saying the same things in different ways, that they are synced. So I was one of those Muslims. I really valued rationality in science. But there are obviously many problems with Islam when it comes to science, whether it's miracles, whether it's the creation of the universe, whether it's evolution. And my Muslim friends were saying, why are you, start worrying about science? And I was like, why can't I be Muslim and believe in evolution? Why can't I be Muslim and reconcile my faith with science? So the only way I could do this was to look at the Quranic verses in a metaphorical way, right? Not literally, but metaphorically. So that was my way of getting around it. And by the way, this is a minority opinion within Islam. The vast majority of Muslims do not subscribe to this type of thinking. I looked at different speakers, Salafi, Sufi, Wahhabi, Reformist, people like Zakir Naik, Hamza Yusuf, Tariq Ramadan. I tried to look at every Muslim speaker to try and get a well-rounded opinion of Islam. Then another watershed moment, in 2015, Charlie Hebdo. I was too young, or maybe not that aware about the Danish cartoons, what happened there. I didn't really understand fully what happened. Someone drew a cartoon, some Muslim was angry, they killed him. I didn't really understand. But I remember very vividly Charlie Hebdo. Now, I was not a fan of Charlie Hebdo. I didn't look at their magazines or anything. And when I realized what happened, obviously I was disgusted that someone could feel it's right to kill someone because they drew a cartoon. And a lot of the Muslims that were around me, they were moderate, educated, kind of westernized Muslims, like your average Muslim. And they were all saying, yeah, it's wrong to kill people, but they shouldn't have done it. But, what did they expect? And I was like, well, I expect they act like human beings and respect the law. That's what I expect. Why are we having a lower standard for Muslims and a higher standard for everyone else? And I was a Muslim at the time. And I said, my faith is stronger than your cartoon. Why should my faith in God, if I believe in God and Muhammad, the perfect creator, the book and everything, you can draw anything on the piece of paper. Why should I have to kill you if I don't like what you have to draw? And this was a moment where I could no longer justify any sort of blasphemy law. I thought, this is a disgusting thing. And the fact that some Muslims are like, yeah, it's wrong, but I was like, no. There is no This is wrong, and we should not apologize for terrorists and murders. Sorry. Then I went some time to work abroad with some Muslim colleagues of mine. And bearing in mind, I gradually stopped believing in sort of these miracles in Islam. I became a Quranist, which means I didn't really care about hadith anymore because I thought that they were very problematic. Most of the violent scriptures are from the hadith. There are some violent scriptures in the Quran, but a lot of them are in the hadith. So I stopped believing in that. I stopped believing in blasphemy law. I became more rational. Sorry, for those of you who do not know hadith, these are the sayings of the Prophet. These are not part of the divine text, but these are collected sayings. Some are more strong, some are more valid, some are more authentic than others. And I did that because I wanted to reduce the amount of mental gymnastics I would have to do to justify my religion, basically. But when I was discussing or having these talks with Muslims abroad, it gives you time to think, when you're away from home. But basically what happened was Muslims made me an atheist. I used to watch a lot of Dawkins, a lot of Christopher Hitchens, and a lot of Sam Harris. They could not make me atheist because I was very defensive when someone else was telling me, oh, your religion says this. But when I got talking to Muslims who were saying the same thing, and I was like, really? Do we believe in this? Are you going to justify this? Then we had a 2-hour conversation. At the end of the conversation, they said, you know what, Waleed? You think like Richard Dawkins, you think like an atheist. And for me, that was an insult. I was like, how could you compare me, a Muslim who believes in God, to Richard Dawkins? That's the biggest insult I could find. But what they did to me was they showed me a mirror. Because this is who you are. This is what you're saying, this is what you believe. And I realized, actually, you know what? Gradually over the years, my Islamic beliefs have gone one by one to the wayside. There's nothing left that I can say that I'm Muslim. I believe in science, I don't believe in blasphemy law, I don't believe in miracles, I believe in evolution. So, what's left? And it was true. So I want to thank those Muslims through their dawah and through their work, they made me an atheist. Then I came back to the UK, and I graduated. I was in between jobs. I didn't have anything stable at the moment, and I was bored. And I think boredom is the best engine for creativity. So I had to find a way to entertain myself. And this is where I created the YouTube channel, which is VEEDU VIDZ. I was bored, and going back to the time where I was doing drama, obviously when you're young, you want to do drama, I want to be an actor, mummy, daddy, I want to be an actor. No, you have to do studies, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, fine. But now I had some spare time to do acting, to do some creativity. And this is where I started making videos on YouTube about satire and Islam. I was a big comedy fan, and the only Muslim comedy that was out there was Muslims saying, we are victims, we're oppressed, haha. But there was no, how come we believe in a flying horse? How come we've got so many silly things in our culture and religion? Why do we believe in this? There was nothing that was self-critical. So my comedy was criticizing Islam using satire. I made a few videos, some of them went viral. I did not plan on this, doing this forever, but when I saw the response, I was like, you know what, maybe there is something here. How did the Muslims react? A lot of Muslims were actually, well done. We like your comedy. We like the fact that you are holding these sheikhs and these imams accountable. Yes, some Muslims are like, how dare you, da 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 da. But many Muslims were supportive of my comedy, even when they found out I was an ex-Muslim. And I think there is a huge market for satire, for comedy, for arts, for music within the Muslim world. But there is a very vocal minority that wants to shut people down. They are shutting them down in Muslim countries. I would invite you to not allow them to shut them down in Europe, please. This is one of the places that we need Muslims and ex-Muslims to flourish, to adopt and protect free speech. I want Muslims to lead us on free speech. I don't want them to hit them over the head with free speech. I want to show Muslims free speech is amazing. Muslims can be better Muslims in Europe than in the Muslim world. And if you don't believe me, just look at religious minorities in Muslim countries. If you are born the wrong type of Muslim, you can be persecuted and have less rights. So, I really want to stress the importance of the comedy and the arts in the conversation. There is a room for debate and rebuttal and, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, going back and forth. Those things are very important. But one of the most important things is art, is music, is comedy, because these things transcend any culture. These things transcend any language. And this has been my approach. I want Muslims to have fun with their religion. Right? I want them to be critical using comedy. Islam is a gold mine for a comedian, just like Christianity is. And the same heritage that I have from a European point of view, of Christians or Westerners criticizing Christianity. You look at people like George Carlin or Ricky Gervais and Russell Brand. These are comedians that are self-critical of themselves, of their own culture, of their own civilization, and they are accepted. Why can't Muslims have the same, or ex-Muslims have the same? I want to be self-critical out of love, not out of hate. We are unfortunately losing a battle on free speech. The unholy marriage of the far left and certain Islamists have really silenced people who believe in free speech. And we need to challenge them. We need to show them that free speech is the way forward. Free speech is the foundation of all the other freedoms we have in this country or any other countries. And I want Muslims to have free speech. I want them to say what they want to say, even if it's crazy. As long as it's not inciting violence, I want them to say what they have to say so we can have a discussion. And I just want to finish on this point, because I've been going on for a long time. But there are certain people who, out of even good intention, say, you know what, we shouldn't say things that are hateful, things that are too critical, because people can get offended. Right? if we want to start the conversation by saying we can't say things that are offensive, then we won't say anything at all. Because the people that will be most affected by cutting down on things that are offensive are religious people themselves. Have you read their books? If you want to start with offensive things about gays and apostates and burning in hell, these are very offensive things. If you want to ban offensive things, let's start with the Bible, let's start with the Quran, and very quickly they'll realize, oh, actually, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should allow people to express themselves as long as they are not inciting to violence. And can I just say, we should not be giving into demands of people who take themselves so seriously they cannot allow any mocking of their ideas or of themselves. These are not the people that we should be giving up our rights to. So I would invite everyone here, please speak freely on Islam or any other religion or any other political ideology. Free speech is for everyone, and we should not be curtailing it, but protecting it and spreading it to other people. Thank you.